Welcome to Episode 35, Risk Assessment Part 3, Evidence, Registers, and Pitfalls. Our focus today is proving the assessment actually happened and that its results are real, repeatable, and tied to action. Evidence is the difference between a claim and a conclusion, and it shows how you moved from inputs to decisions. A good record makes the path obvious, what you looked at, what you decided, and why it made sense at the time. Think of it as a trail that another practitioner could follow and reach the same judgment. Keep it traceable. When leaders or auditors ask hard questions later, that trail turns memory into fact and wins confidence. Building on that purpose, a well-designed risk register gives the assessment a home and a shared language. The register is a structured list of risks with fields that explain identity, context, and next steps. Useful fields include title, description, scenario path, assets affected, information types, impact ratings, likelihood notes, owner, status, and due dates. Add links to evidence and decisions so readers can dive deeper without searching. Imagine a single page where a product manager sees the story, the score, and the plan in minutes. Keep fields stable across teams so comparisons stay fair. A register without structure soon becomes a muddle that people avoid. From there, source evidence links and lineage turn each entry from opinion into supported analysis. Lineage shows where a statement came from: logs, design documents, test results, vendor notes, or incident records, so anyone can check the foundation. A short citation with a direct link is better than a long summary that hides detail. For example, tie a likelihood note to a ticket proving patch delays and link an impact claim to service level terms that explain penalties. Small, specific pointers beat broad references every time. When lineage is visible, debates shift from "I think" to "the record shows," which is healthier and faster. Continuing that record keeping, version history and approval records capture how the register evolves and who endorsed changes. Every material edit should record the editor, timestamp, and reason, because context decays quickly. Approval entries show that decision authority reviewed the change and accepted its implications. Picture a revision that raises impact after a customer dependency expands. The approval note explains the trigger and the risk executive who agreed. History prevents accidental backsliding and helps new staff understand why today's numbers differ from last quarter. It is simple discipline. Without it, the register loses credibility precisely when it is most needed. Building on governance, treatment plans with accountable owners convert problems into work. A treatment plan states the chosen path: mitigate, transfer, avoid, or accept, and the concrete actions that follow. Each action needs an owner, not a committee, and a deliverable that can be checked. For instance, enable step-up authentication for administrators is clear, while improve identity security is not. Plans should also name the evidence that will prove completion, such as configuration exports or penetration test results. Assign real names and teams. When ownership is personal and visible, progress becomes a matter of follow-through rather than hope. From there, timelines, milestones, and acceptance criteria give treatment plans weight and boundaries. A timeline provides start and target dates, while milestones break the path into steps that can be verified. Acceptance criteria define done in plain terms that match the risk's cause, not a vague future state. Imagine stating that success means all administrator sessions require phishing-resistant authentication and logs show enforcement across 95% of cases for 30 days. That level of clarity discourages half measures. It also tells reviewers exactly what to test. Clear criteria prevent disputes and protect teams from moving goalposts. Extending the plan into compliance work, integration with plan of action and milestones, known as POA and M, keeps regulatory reporting aligned with reality. The register should cross-reference POA and M items so status stays consistent across audiences. If a mitigation step slips, both views should show it the same day. This linkage avoids duplicate tracking and reduces confusion during oversight reviews. Consider a quarterly meeting where leaders see progress on risk and corresponding milestone closure in one glance. One truth source helps everyone. Alignment here saves rework and ensures external attestations match internal facts. From there, dependency mapping and coverage gaps reveal where one fix depends on another to work. Controls rarely act alone. Identity, logging, and change processes often carry the load together. A map that shows these relationships warns you when a seemingly small delay blocks a larger promise. Picture a data loss prevention rule that cannot work until labels are correct and egress logging is tuned. Note both facts in the register entry. Mark the gap plainly. When dependencies are visible, you can order tasks sensibly and prevent a parade of done items that change nothing. Continuing the discipline, watch items and trigger conditions help teams track risks that are not actionable yet but could escalate quickly. A watch item states what you are observing and the event that will flip it into an active risk. Triggers might include a provider deprecating a feature, a regulatory change, or a new exploit reaching broad use. For example, note that a legacy protocol is acceptable until a certain vendor retires gateway support, at which point mitigation becomes mandatory. Write the trigger in one sentence. This approach reduces noise while keeping attention ready where it matters. From there, retests, updates, and closure proofs keep the register honest over time. A retest confirms that a fix still holds after change or drift, while updates reflect new threats, assets, or lessons learned. Closure requires evidence attached to the entry, screenshots, configuration exports, or test results, plus a reviewer sign-off. Imagine closing a privilege escalation risk only after a successful attempt fails in a controlled test with logs captured. That proof belongs in the record. Without retests and proofs, entries drift toward green by declaration. The aim is simple: close with confidence, not optimism. Building on credibility, prepare for auditor questions with concise, factual responses tied to the register. Common asks include, show me the source, who approved this, why this score, and how did you test? Answer with the shortest path to evidence and the names of accountable reviewers. If you made an assumption, point to it in writing and show the sensitivity analysis that bounded the risk. Keep your tone calm. Auditors look for consistency between method and outcome, and they appreciate clear pointers over long explanations. Good preparation turns the review into verification rather than debate. From there, understanding typical pitfalls and anti-patterns helps you avoid preventable pain. Frequent issues include empty evidence links, shifting scores without rationale, owners who are groups, not people, and mitigations that are merely intentions. Another trap is treating residual risk as zero after action, which invites surprise later. Write a small playbook of fixes. Add lineage before status changes, require rationale for score edits, and block closure without proofs. Practice the playbook. When teams know the patterns, they can correct them early and keep the register trustworthy under pressure. Continuing with visibility, metrics such as closure rate and aging show health at a glance. Closure rate tells you whether completed treatments keep pace with new findings, while aging highlights items stuck beyond their target dates. Track both by severity and by owner to find bottlenecks and resource gaps. For example, if high-impact items linger while low-impact items finish quickly, your prioritization may be upside down. A simple chart over quarters tells a clear story. Metrics are not the goal, they are the flashlight. Use them to steer attention, funding, and help to where it will matter most. In closing, the register should mirror real decisions, not wish lists or slogans. When entries carry lineage, version history, owners, timelines, dependencies, and proofs, the register becomes a working tool for action and accountability. It tells one story from source to closure that leaders, practitioners, and auditors can all read the same way. That unity turns assessments into funded change and lasting improvement. Keep it current. With a living register and disciplined evidence, your risk program stops arguing about memory and starts building on fact, step by careful step. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.